This is Shell Shock. It's basically a game like Worms, if you've ever played Worms of Mass Destruction or something of that nature. It's a turn-based game where you take shots at each other trying to kill one another. The mechanic I'd like to discuss in this game, though, is the terrain itself and how it can be drastically altered or changed or manipulated by the weapon system. In Shell Shock, the terrain itself can be used as a weapon in the sense that it can be used to deflect weapons. So there's certain weapons that can even build up the terrain, such as this builder. Almost every weapon, not every weapon, does some sort of terrain damage that can be used to put a player into a hole or something to that nature. It's such a simple thing, but I love it because it's complex in the way that it can be used to put your player at the biggest disadvantage by burying them. And it can be used from any position in the game. So as you can see, my friend here, Skiffy, has the advantage over me as he's the high ground. But I can use the low ground as an advantage to build him up and take him out by the end of the game. It's nice because the aiming system lends into this. So with the weapons, you can basically carve the land out to be whatever you want. So the high ground becomes kind of a moot point. But it can also be used to, say, there's one that's called a bulger. Now, in certain game modes, both players will go at the same time. In that game mode, if you were to use a bulger directly in front of you, it might damage you, but it could stop a life-threatening shot from hitting you if you know that your enemy is going to be using something big on you. Many times it can be used to be helpful to prevent you from losing a game. Or it can be used to put your player at a disadvantage, like we mentioned earlier, with certain weapons that can be rolled in, such as an area strike, or a grenade, or one of the various other weapons, such as stone, which I have like right there. It can be used to put them in a hole. That way, when the weapon bounces, it bounces directly into that hole and keeps them there and keeps the explosion contained. Same with other weapons like tadpoles, which is a very destructive weapon. It's basically a bunch of frogs that leap around, but if you keep them in a contained hole, it'll keep them like that. But, like I just did here with the builder, I've built him up to where I can see him, and I have a clear, direct line of sight on him. So my next weapon, which would be a horrible weapon to use when we were fighting before, the Twinkler that I'm about to use, can just directly hit him and do its full amount of damage, taking him out and winning me the game. This is what I like about the terrain system, is that it's so easily manipulative. Sorry. I hope you enjoyed my video, and thank you for watching.